What's going on, everybody? What's going on? I am back with another live show. It is August the 7th, 2018. I really do appreciate everybody for being here. I know it's a little early. I want to get back to doing more earlier in the day streams. I don't like doing streams too late, but I know that by then people are off work. Raider 48, there's PayPal and there's Streamlabs. This is Streamlabs. You can see your name scrolling at the bottom, or you can donate live here to PayPal. Both should work. Those are the easiest options, you know. People have an easier time with Super Chat. I don't get it, but shout out to everybody that's here early, the early birds, even though it's almost 12 o'clock. All right, let's see who is here. Let's see who's here. Shout out to Gourmet. Gourmet here early. First one. Taylor Nicole, what's going on, Turf? Let's see. Raiders 48 Gates. Vern. Let's see. Maureen. Shout out to Maureen in Holland. All the way from Holland. Autumn 77. What's going on, Vern? Let's see. Brian Watson. Appreciate that, Turf. Yeah, I mean, you know, I try as far as music, you know. What's up, Tony? We are live. We are here. Hopefully more people come in. Make sure y'all have liked it on y'all end. If you're watching and you haven't commented in the chat, make sure you like the stream. If you go inside the description box, there are all the donation options. You can choose those. Subscribe to my other streaming channel and my other channels as well. You can also follow me on social media. Go check out the website. You can check out the latest article from my website. That link is in the description box too. So make sure y'all go ahead and take care of that. All right, cool. Vern said he's liked it. Everybody here. We have a couple of multiple topics in this particular stream. I'm going to be speaking about some things that are going on in the news. The Chicago shootings is heavy, and I want to address that because instead of people being upset at me for criticizing their favorite athlete, look at what's going on in the communities that some of you have abandoned. Okay? Focus on what's going on in your own backyard before you come to me arguing and being upset over your favorite pro athlete being criticized, you know? All right, cool, Taylor. What's going on, Troy? There's a lot of issues going on in Chicago, and I'm going to play some videos so y'all can check out what is going on out here too, because sometimes you got to put things in perspective. And I said it in my stream last night. You know, we have to really take care of the people in our own homes, in our own families. Don't let them be indoctrinated. Don't let them be taught by other people their own ideologies. Really just be honest and be real with the people around you, you know. But what's going on in Chicago is absolutely sickening. What is going on there? And for some reason, a lot of the people, especially these pro athletes, they tend to, or these rappers, anybody else, they want to avoid these issues. Okay, shout out to Terry Gates. I appreciate that, Terry Gates, for donating. If anybody else wants to donate here, here's a link. Support the show. But we have a lot of issues in our community. A lot of things that need to be addressed. Yeah, rated 48, it went through. Just got notification. up, greatness? And I'm not going to be no hypocrite, you know? Sorry to hear about that, Brian. There's a lot of disgusting behavior going on in Chicago, but we want to look outward, you know? We want to look outward when we have so many issues right there in the community. And we tend to avoid it because it's easier to point the finger. It's easier to blame other people. What's going on, Marie? It's easy to say that somebody else is the problem. All right, that's cool, Raiders. That's why we have to. Okay, that's cool, Turf. We have to be able to hold each other accountable for a reason. Because when situations like this happens, we can't just be crying and falling out on when the cameras are around. We should take the necessary measures to better our children and better our families. Get them out of these communities. If you can, get them out of public schools. Give them the best opportunity to succeed. But we don't do that because a lot of us don't care about our own children. But I'm going to play these videos. And I'm going to let y'all see it for itself. I'm not going to, I'm going to let y'all see it. I don't want nobody saying I'm misquoting and I'm making up things. I'm making the black community look bad. You can only make yourself look bad. Because this is absolutely ridiculous what is going on in Chicago. But we want to talk about Trump this and Trump that, Trump this and Trump that, white supremacy. But the people committing these crimes are what race? So we're going to take a look at this video. This is the first video. This is from World Star. And we're going to play this one first. At some point, we have to look, let's see. We have to look ourselves in the mirror before it's too late. Do y'all see this? You got these chicks literally falling out in the streets. I know you could become overwhelmed with emotion, but damn, come on. If I was these people, I'd be trying to get out of this community as fast as I possibly could. Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me stop this. If I was these people, I'd be trying to get out of this community as fast as I can. Because if you look at what is going on, you look at the fact that there's a lot of crime. You look at the fact that there aren't a lot of jobs. Look at the fact that, the people who are supposed to be the politicians and the leaders of these communities, they're not doing anything for these communities. They're barely in these communities. They get voted in office and they don't come back for another 4 years. And we vote the same people in office every single year. Every single year we vote the same people in there who don't do nothing for us, but we want to blame other ethnic groups instead of looking at the problems. Look at all those people standing around.
This is from all of the killings last night.
What's going on, Mermaid? T-Rose. All these people standing around. All these people just standing around. Yeah, let's get the likes up, people. 73 watching, but only 21 likes. Like, do you people support the show or not? Are you just here for the topics? Because I can take all day with this shit. Or I can just skip some of these other topics. All right, let's see. Where's the other video I'm gonna play? Okay, here's the news story. I'm gonna play the news story straight out of Chicago. Hold on. Make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Now I'm gonna play this other video. What's going on, Kiara? And get your thoughts on it. Find it. All right.
Allen Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says this violence is not random. He says it is targeted, fueled by gang members, and specifically, he says, people who have either shot or killed before. Tonight, he says it's time community members start turning gunmen into police.
Tonight, parts of Chicago are in a crisis.
What happened this weekend did not happen in every neighborhood in Chicago, but it is unacceptable to happen in any neighborhood of Chicago.
Yeah, no shit, Rahm Emanuel. And it's been going on for quite a long time, Rahm.
As Lollapalooza raged downtown and the Cubs played on the north side, the most violent weekend of the year terrorized neighborhoods on the city's south and west sides. A dozen people killed, among them a 17-year-old girl shot in the face and a boy the same age on a bike.
They have the same aspirations, same desires that I do for my children that you do.
We can't solve these things without the community.
That takes...
He's right about that. Thank you for everybody that's liked the stream. I appreciate it. He's right about that. We have this no snitch thing going on in these black communities where we nosy as fuck, but we don't want to report what's going on in these communities. You know what's funny? You got people who will refuse to cooperate with police, but they will be the first person to call the police for some petty shit. You will have people who say, I ain't gonna snitch, I ain't gonna tell. Don't want to cooperate with the police, but as soon as a fight break out, you calling the police. As soon as your baby mother wants you out of her house, she gonna call the police. You're calling the police, but you don't want to cooperate when murders are happening. The people of Chicago voted Rahm Emanuel in there. I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out.
More than policing.
The police are not going to save us. That the city is not going to save us. The cavalry is not coming. The cavalry is us. We have to save each other.
Tamar Manasseh is a one-woman cavalry.
she's right, but what's going on, Tamika? We have to put plan into action. We got to stop all this talking. The only time we want to do action is when we on camera. But when we're not on camera anymore, where's the action? Okay? Where's the building? Where's the teaching? It ain't nowhere to be found. Well, let's get back to the video.
She sits on the corner of 75th and Stewart in Englewood every day, and she has for 4 years.
It's a matter of how do we get people to stop being afraid to come out of their homes and to re-engage with society. Once we take ownership of our blocks again, then it changes everything.
Once the shock...
Is she a social media personality, or she's a community organizer, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you there just to take selfies with people and to get likes and shares to make it seem like you're doing something for people when really you're not doing anything and you don't even live in that community? How much y'all want to bet this chick probably lives on the east or north side of Chicago? I'm just saying.
Shock of the weekend violence wears off. Police hope people will start talking about who's responsible for nearly 70 shootings.
Despite this weekend's surge in violence, shootings for the year are still down from what they were last year. Both Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson are continuing their calls for stiffer penalties at a state level for repeat offenders.
Okay. I think that's all for that video. Keep getting... Small at the purge. But yeah, man, are people out here really out here? You know, you're right, Kira. She's very clean cut. What's going on, Merv? Shout out to everybody coming in. Make sure you like the stream. Yeah, she seemed a little too happy-go-lucky to be out there, man. Like, if you really out here in these streets in the west side of Chicago or the south side of Chicago, you're not gonna be that happy-go-lucky. I'm sorry. But these shootings is atrocious. Let me see if I can find an article here. Because, damn, I clicked out of it. Let me see, did I click out of it? Oh, goddamn. But, all those shootings, do y'all understand nobody's getting caught? These mass shootings over the holiday weekends. Now, this wasn't necessarily a holiday weekend, but the bigger the holiday seems like, the more people are out of work and out of school, the more of these shootings are going to occur. And nobody's getting caught. Nobody's getting caught. Y'all understand that? Let me get this idiot out of here. He's in here looking for attention. We not going to be doing that here today. We going to focus on the content, or you can get the fuck out. All these shootings, y'all understand, all these shootings, nobody gets arrested. Nobody gets arrested because nobody is going to these police officers and saying nothing to them. They don't want to cooperate. They don't want to be seen as a snitch, but you will call the police on the next black man for the stupidest reason. We've seen it. We've seen black people call the police on other black people all the time. We've seen it. It's nothing new. So you have to look at this situation and say, Rom, this is on you. It's on that police department. Y'all have got to get a better handle on what's being said and what's being done in those communities. Their community has no leadership. And you as the mayor of a big city, you have to be able to at least try to create some type of leadership in these communities. Instead of having yes men, because there's a lot of yes men out there. Instead of being yes men, get people in there who actually care about those communities. Don't bring no suit out there, somebody who's far removed from the community, to have them speaking for the community. Because they don't understand what goes on there day to day. They coming out there in their nice suits and their security teams, and they really want you to believe that they care about that community. When are we going to be able to really be honest with ourselves and say, you know what, maybe accepting these welfare policies, separating man and woman from each other, that has had a detrimental effect. We want to talk about how slavery had a detrimental effect on us, but we don't talk about the fact that there were black families and black communities before integration. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to make it seem like we had no community, no structure before then, which is bullshit, because we did have that. See if I can find that article again from ABC7. If I can get it. We had communities, we had structure, we had leadership, and the church wasn't as corrupt as it is now. You know, the church is heavily corrupt. You know, maybe there wasn't a time when the church wasn't was on the up and up, but if you look at it now and how it has regressed, I mean, you know, the church is very much so regressed. And some people aren't going to like me saying it, but it has. Okay, shout out to Empty Wallet for supporting the stream today. I appreciate that. Shout out to Empty Wallet. Anybody else wants to donate and support the stream, hit that PayPal up. I'll give you a shout out. What up, Infamous? Okay, let's see. Get this article up. What's going on, Patricia? It says 66 shot, 12 fatally killed in Chicago weekend shootings. This was just a random weekend, or maybe it wasn't. A violent weekend in Chicago left 12 people dead and dozens more wounded, police said. This is according to ABC7Chicago.com. The shootings were concentrated in 4 police districts on the south and west side. Among the victims were a 17-year-old girl shot in the face and a 17-year-old boy on a bike. At a press conference Monday morning with Mayor Rahm Emanuel, Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said more needs to be done to hold repeat gun offenders accountable. Well, how about you do this, okay? How about we figure out where these guns are coming from? Because they're getting these guns from someplace, okay? Now, I know you can go out of state and get guns. You know, you can buy them from your pawn shops or what that. But they need to really just make it difficult for these guys to get guns. Instead of making it difficult on the people who don't go out there and shoot people randomly. Also, you need stronger leadership, and you need to get these people jobs. No, Chris, but you can send it to me. These communities need jobs. Let's just be real. These people need jobs. 12 dead ain't shit to you. Well, it means something to me and other people. It may not mean nothing to you. But 66 people being wounded does, because wounds can turn fatal. Okay? There are people who've been shot and have never recovered, but they're still alive. So 12 people ain't shit to you because you don't care about your community. So I don't know why you're here. And there's people like you who sit up there and don't cooperate with the police, but as soon as something happens in your family, you're going to call the cops and you're going to tell them everything you know. Moving right along. As long as we fail to hold repeat gun offenders accountable for their actions, we're going to keep having these discussions on Monday mornings. You damn right you're going to have those discussions. You're going to have those discussions. But Superintendent Johnson said they are investigating leads on a number of the shootings, but we have not made any arrests in the shooting. So you mean to tell me that all this is going on and nobody's getting caught? Nobody's getting caught. What kind of police force do you have? What's going on, Bella? So this shows y'all how much oversight they're giving this. Each district has their own police force. And this shit is still getting out of hand. Let's see. Johnson stressed the importance of community and police cooperation. We are all supposed to be on the same side, he said. Some residents know this battle against violence will not be won just with policing. The police are not going to save us. The city's not going to save us. The cavalry is not coming. The cavalry is us. We have to save each other. Tama Manasseh, Mothers Against Senseless Killings. Mothers Against Senseless Killings. It sounds admirable, but we have to look at this as well. The fact that these communities have a majority women who are single mothers. There's a lot of single mothers in these communities. Okay, shout out to Kira for donating and blessing the stream. I appreciate that. Anybody else want to support? There you go. But you do have a lot of single mothers in these communities who are raising their young boys to be like the men that they've dated. Let's be real. We've all seen photos of these women dressing up their sons like the men they date or the rappers that they like. So it all starts with a mentality. If you want better for your children, you're going to work as hard as you can to get your kids out of that situation. Welfare is not going to get you out of that situation. So we have to really, what's going on, freelance? You also really have to look at the fact that these women aren't trying to better their children's life. Because if they were, they'll get them out of the communities that they're in. Okay, let's see what the rest of this article says. Let's say Manasseh is a one-woman cavalry. She sits on the corner of 75th and Stewart in Inglewood every day and has for 4 years. It's a matter of how do we get people to stop being afraid to come out of their homes and re-engage with society, she said. Once we take ownership of our blocks again, then it changes everything. What we need to do is lay off of this hip-hop music. We need to stop glorifying thug culture. We need to once again make school important, because Education is very important. Education is very important, people. Without education, what do you have? We should never see parents outliving their children. You got kids being randomly killed on their way to play with their friends, on their way to school, from school, sitting in their houses, because we're not fighting hard enough to get our kids out of those environments. We want to keep it real. We want to stay in the hood. No, when I mention hip hop, I mention the mentality of hip hop. The do drugs, the sit on the corner, to hang with your homeboys instead of trying to improve. We should be trying to improve every single day. Every single day should be an improvement. There needs to be improvement. The mentality needs to change. And it's not going to change if we're overlooking the things that we deal with on a daily basis. These children have no people skills. They cannot function outside of those communities. So they don't care about working. They don't care about getting an education, learning a skill trade, owning a business, owning a home, having good credit. I'm not going to have my kids in a war zone. I don't care about keeping it real. There's a lot of people keeping it real who are sitting in prison or who are dead, who try to keep it real. And I don't want my kids to grow up the same way that I did. You know how bad that neighborhood is, and you keeping your kids in that neighborhood, having them go outside by themselves, walk to school by themselves. You're too lazy to get out the house and take them yourself. You sitting up there on Facebook all day gossiping, on the phone, running behind some man who don't care about you, instead of making a life better for ourselves and our families. But we can only care as much as they care. If they don't care, then we don't care. Emmanuel said he visited Stronger and Mount Sinai hospitals to thank those that treated the victims of the violence. It may not have been in your neighborhood. It may not have been in your community. It may not have been on your block. But that neighborhood, that community, that block is in the city of Chicago and is part of our home, Emmanuel said. Johnson said while CPD can do better, the shooters need to be accountable. With all this technology today, you telling me you can't find these people? Police and government entities have access to things that we don't even know about. And you mean to tell me y'all can't find out what's going on? But y'all got to realize Rahm Emanuel was voted in twice. Something to think about. And this has been going on while he's been mayor of Chicago. I hear people holding us accountable all the time, Johnson said. I never hear people saying these individuals out here in the streets need to stop pulling the trigger. I have said that. I have said that people need to stop killing their own people. But there are other people here, even here on YouTube, who want to blame white people. And I say, no. You blame the people who are committing these acts of violence, these random acts of violence. We've seen people get killed live on Facebook Live. Nobody holds Facebook accountable for that. They don't hold the people in that situation accountable. What they will claim is that it's a system oppressing them to the point to where they have to pick up a gun and pull the trigger. I never hear that. I never hear that they get a pass from everybody and they shouldn't. I don't think they get a pass. I think you're trying to deflect, sir. Killers don't get a pass. Not for me. Police hope once the shock of the weekend wears off, people will start talking about who is responsible for the shootings. Police said they have been working around the clock this weekend, and that the department has seen a citywide reduction in shootings by 17% this year. I mean, that's commendable, but the shootings need to go down. This was a mass shooting, so the stats can be skewed. You know. Let's see. Well, y'all can definitely let me know what y'all think on that particular topic. I have to move on though, but I am going to take phone calls once I get these topics spoken about, because I truly feel like, to me, we are in a situation where there's no respect for each other anymore. The lack of father figures has made men just hate each other, especially black men. We have like this hatred towards each other that just doesn't seem to want to go away, but we need to make it go away, because there are too much that we have going on to sit there and allow pettiness to keep us at each other's throats, to keep us destroying each other. Shout out to Gourmet Thursday for donating and supporting the stream. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, let's get the likes up, people. We about to switch topics though, so some of y'all who are just here for the other topic, you can leave now, because you probably didn't like the stream anyway. Yeah, Gourmet, I seen that. Shout out to Gourmet, always supporting. Now we're gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe, and we're gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe and Michael Jordan. What's going on, China White? Long time no see. So make sure y'all like the stream. We're gonna talk about Shannon Sharpe's comments about Michael Jordan and how he needs to do better in going at Trump. Now, I want people to understand, I made some videos about Shannon Sharpe. Now, they were critical videos, but they weren't brutally critical. And people didn't like my take on Shannon Sharpe. They see him as the next, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Louis Farrakhan. And I merely pointed out a criticism, and I had all these males attacking me. I don't know what it is about men following behind other men, but it's weird. It's very weird. But he made some comments. Let's see. Shannon Sharpe had some things to say about Michael Jordan not going hard enough at Donald Trump when Donald Trump responded to he responded to LeBron James and what LeBron James had to say with his own words for him. And I want y'all to understand, I'm not a big fan of Trump going at these athletes. I think he just needs to let that go. There's nothing good comes from that. You get a few sound bites, you get a few, tweets to chuckle at. But if you look at the whole grand scheme of things, it doesn't help. It really doesn't. But I can understand him being upset about LeBron and Don Lemon. LeBron has been taking shots at him here and there. Don Lemon has said things on his show, made comments. So I can understand the frustration, but it's what they're trying to do is bait him into a situation where black people can be upset, where black people can feel offended. That's what they want. They want black people to get upset at Donald Trump. They want black people to be mad. And we have to stop falling for the bait. We got to stop allowing the media to control us. We have to be able to understand and see this for what it is. We are in a situation where us as black people are at a critical moment in history. We are no longer the largest minority. We are the third largest minority. And the population, the black population in America is actually dropping, while the Hispanic population grows. So let's see. People are calling me while I'm live. Y'all gonna catch me on the wrong day. You call me live, man. I'm gonna just air you out. No, I'm just kidding. According to Total Pro Sports, let's see. That's done. Shannon Sharpe calls out Michael Jordan for not going harder at Donald Trump after he attacked LeBron. Now, mind you, he didn't really attack. He just responded. Okay. But again, we got to stop taking the bait. Okay. Last week, Donald Trump had just finished watching the CNN interview with LeBron James and decided to jump on Twitter and call Don Lemon the dumbest man on television. I don't think I am going to argue that. And essentially called LeBron James, who just opened an entire school for kids, stupid. At the end of his tweet, he referenced that he preferred Michael Jordan as a player as opposed to LeBron. You know? Listen, man, a lot of people prefer Michael Jordan over LeBron James. I mean, you know. But LeBron James is very talented, you know. Within 24 hours, MJ had responded and stated, "I support LJ." Michael Jordan's response to President Donald Trump's controversial tweet was simply not enough for Shannon Sharpe. Of course it's not. You see, as a black entertainer, you're supposed to attack anybody that they tell you to attack. And if you don't, you're going to have other black people and the mainstream media go at you. You're going to have these entities where they want to control your basically control you and say, listen, we don't like Donald Trump. You need to say something. You need to go at him, hurt his feelings. But y'all got to understand, you can't really hurt Donald Trump's feelings. His own wife be disagreeing with him publicly. Do you think that any of y'all are going to upset him? This guy has never worked for anybody in his life. Do you really think he's going to feel offended by any of you? And when you look at this, again, I'm not a fan of this whole going back and forth people. I don't go back and forth with anybody. It's never been my ideology to go back and forth with anybody because it never helps. It only makes things worse. Yeah, and Jordan has an entire brand that he has built that he is not trying to put into the arena of let's go at Donald Trump, because this whole campaign is falling apart. They're going at Trump and it's failing. Look at Donald Trump's rallies. Those people are supporting him harder and harder. They're becoming a hard base. When you continuously go at a person, people are going to support them harder and harder. What's up, Sakib? So this whole strategy is not going to work, I'm telling you. Because all you're doing is making this person a sympathetic figure. Okay, shout out to Terry Gates again. I think it might have been an old one. Might have been an old message. Yeah, Trump's, look at these rallies he's going on. Look how ravaged, not ravaged, look how ravious, I can't think of the word. Look how hardcore, I can't think of the word right now, I got a million things going on. Look how hardcore his base is when you go to these rallies. Look at how strong his support is getting. This strategy is not working. Look at these walkaway videos. These hashtag walkaway videos. How is that working out for the DNC? How is it working out for them? Yardley, there's no super chat on this channel, so you have to go to PayPal or Streamlabs to donate, because this channel does not have a super chat. You can go to one of these two and donate to the show live. If you donate to Streamlabs, you see your name at the bottom, where you see Geo Scholar, where you see Antoine, Negroes Are Crazy, Tamika. You're ravenous. Thank you, Antoine. And his base is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And this strategy isn't working. And Shannon Sharpe is upset because Michael Jordan didn't go for the jugular. Michael Jordan didn't call him names and didn't make fun of him, because Michael Jordan is a lot more intellectually in tune with society. Shannon Sharpe is not. Shannon Sharpe is trying to fit in. He's trying to be a character. That's why he has the Black and Miles and, the liquor. I mean, come on, dude. You're too old for that. But anyway. On Monday's edition of The Undisputed, the Hall of Fame tight end wished Michael Jordan came a little harder in his response by personally calling out Trump, just as he did LeBron and Don Lemon. This is what Shannon Sharpe says. I believe the retort should also name him, Sharpe said, and it should also be equally as harsh. This is the one time, Michael, you have criticized get out of jail free pass because of what President Trump said about Don Lemon. What he said about LeBron James, given his track record over the past year, what he said about other prominent African Americans, and you support LJ? You support him as what? As a father, as a family man? What exactly are you supporting? Michael wants to swim, but he doesn't want to get wet. And this is according to Shannon Sharpe. This is according to Shannon Sharpe. Let's see. Shout out to Yardley for supporting the stream. I'm gonna call this the almighty chat, the Omega chat. Anybody else want to support? Where's the link? If you are a mod, make sure you put the link in the chat so people can support the stream on a channel that's not monetized. Okay. But what was wrong with Michael Jordan saying that he supports LeBron James? What else did you expect him to say? You see, Shannon, you're lucky that you're tolerated by Fox Sports and you have a bunch of people on social media who pat you on the back. But Michael Jordan sees things differently. He sees things from an overall perspective. Michael Jordan has never been political. So why would he all of a sudden start now being political? Now, people got to understand, Donald Trump was trolling when he added Michael Jordan to that tweet, because he wanted to put Michael Jordan in. This is what Trump does. He plays people against each other in certain aspects of what he does. That's the one thing I cannot stand about him. That doesn't mean that when he responds to people, he doesn't respond to them in the way that they went at him. But Michael Jordan didn't take the bait. Michael Jordan said, one, Donald Trump is not going to use me, and two, the mainstream sports media is not going to use me. He's not going to allow any of these people to use him. That's why he said what he said. It's just like when Donald Trump was tweeting about, the support from Kanye West, and he added, Chance the Rapper in it. Like, I didn't like that. Like, come on, really? So you got to look at it from that perspective. But Shannon understands that he likes getting pats on the back. And he understands when he says the things that he says, he's going to get those pats on the back. And see, I'm not a political person either. That's why I don't talk politics. I'm not going to talk about something that I don't watch as hard as most people and as frequently as most people. That's not my lane. But I do know what's going on. I do see how there are people, hold on a second, that there are people who seek to utilize everybody else for their political gain. And it's sickening. And I feel like Michael Jordan said, y'all are not using me. I'm staying out of it. But I do support LeBron James and what he is doing. Michael Jordan might not even like LeBron James. LeBron James might not even like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan even said that he preferred Kobe over LeBron. He's not that big of a fan of LeBron. He probably supports what he does off the court, but he's not that big a fan of him. He's not that big a fan of LeBron James. But he's going to say, you know what, in this situation, I'm going to support what you're doing. But that doesn't mean that he should have to get in the middle of whatever situation is going on. If y'all want to call him names because he doesn't want anybody to use him to attack somebody else, then that just shows how intellectually lazy you are. Jordan is not going to let these people use him. Or he did. He insinuated that LeBron was juiced. I mean, he would know. He would know. Michael Jordan is a very smart man. That Jordan brand was built off of him and his ideas of what his brand wanted to be. Michael Jordan wants his brand to be global. He doesn't want his brand to be about black people. Just about black people. He wants it to be about everybody. And it has suited him well. Because he's not getting an NBA check. His money comes from his Jordan shoes and maybe what other investments he may have. Jordan is not going to allow the likes of Shannon and these other people to upset him and get him emotional. He's not going to let the mainstream media, Donald Trump, use him. He said, forget Donald Trump. I'm not going to go along with what you're saying. You're putting bait out there, and I'm not going to go at it. And people should understand that. Michael Jordan does do a lot for people. I just think that he's not one of these idiots that like to get in front of the camera on social media and act like a complete moron. I don't respect people who tweet and post things, but they're never in their communities. You know what I'm saying? They're on social media all day, but I ain't seen you in the hood in a long time, bruh. I haven't seen you in the hood, but you talking about you care about the hood. You want to see black people do better. Go to the hood. You're afraid to go to the hood because you know what's going to happen. You're going to be there with a bunch of security. They're going to be in the hood with a bunch of security. Don't even want to shake people's hands because, because you feel like you better. Telling y'all, man, these people are phonies, man. Michael Jordan said he'd rather not deal with y'all than be considered a phony. But I believe he does give back to his community. He just doesn't do it publicly. He doesn't have to. Michael Jordan does his own thing, and people hate him for that because he doesn't need anybody. He doesn't have to go work for ESPN or TNT. He doesn't, or the NBA Network. He doesn't have to work for them. He owns his own team, and he has people who work for him. Jordan cares about being a boss. He cares not about being an employee. You can't say the same thing about Charles Barkley. You can't say the same thing about Shaq. All these guys go and collect checks. So smart, boy. All they do is go and collect checks. Michael Jordan said, screw that, I'm going to go be a boss. That's the difference. He prefers being a boss over being somebody's employee who could be fired if he says the wrong thing. And we don't see that a lot. No matter if he has gambling problems, none of that matters because at the end of the day, he ain't trying to work for nobody. Michael Jordan is doing for himself, and he prefers doing for himself than sitting up there and being used by the lamestream media. He's not going to allow the lamestream media to use him. Okay? So y'all can tell me in the chat, fill me in on what y'all think about that. But I do have one more topic that I want to bring to your attention. And it's about Beyonce. Beyonce is in the news. She's in the news. Yeah, make sure y'all like the stream, man. Let's get to 100 likes before the stream is over. And Beyonce is having some sort of crises of her ethnicity. Apparently, she's not happy with the fact that she found out that one of her relatives was in a relationship with her slave master. Yes, Beyonce is worried about that in 2018. Okay? I don't know how she found this out, but she did. So we're going to talk about it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see him get the article. Because according to this article, if I can get it up here. Let's see. I should be able to get it. Oh, it's not here. But according to the article, I may have to read it. It's according to the NY Daily News. Hold on. Yeah, the NY Daily News. Beyonce's complicated ancestry and scars of the past. Yes, this is a topic in 2018. The past traumas of Beyonce's ancestors have taken a major toll on her. The pop star told Vogue she had to come to grips after learning she's a descendant of a slave owner who fell in love with and married a slave. And she says her family history is filled with abuses of power and broken relationships between man and women. Yeah, make sure y'all get the likes up, people. We really gonna delve into this. Where is my drink? Where is my drink, people? You know, this situation to me, it speaks to a couple of things. It could be the fact that you have a media who pushes a narrative of racism, a slave. They push a narrative of racism, okay, to the point to where it's no longer going to mean anything. Like it really isn't. Because you're pushing this narrative for what? What reason would there be to push this narrative? How is it helping anybody? But now we want to talk about slavery in 2018. How does that help? Can anybody explain to me how speaking about racism and slavery, well, we know racism, But speaking about slavery in 2018, I just don't get it. But you're stressing over the fact that one of your ancestors married the slave master. Isn't that the plot of one of these TV shows and movies? Doesn't that seem like a plot from one of these TV shows or movies? Let's go into it. I had to process that revelation over time. She said, I questioned what it meant and tried to put it into perspective. Beyonce, 36, isn't alone in feeling this emotional burden. Trauma from harrowing experiences can be genetically passed down from generation to generation, leading experts told the Daily News. Yeah, I may need a drink for this. I don't have a drink next to me. I may need one for this. Slavery isn't something that happens just with black people. There are many different nations that have stories of being enslaved or enslavement. I'm a big history buff. I watch a lot of documentaries on the medieval times, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, Babylonia, Persia, the great Macedonian Empire, then the subsequent kingdoms afterward. And the one thing that was very consistent was in how the defeated armies will get sold into slavery or servitude. They conquered a kingdom or a city, they would enslave the people. And these weren't just black people. But the narrative by these pro-blacks is that only black people have been slaves. We need to stop this stupidity. Every culture in the world has dealt with some form of enslavement. The Irish were slaves. Even in medieval times, Europeans were enslaving each other, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Okay? So are you telling me that all that enslavement genetically passed itself down to them as well, or it's only with black people that deal with that? It's only people of African descent. Taylor, we're talking about Beyonce right now. Yes, the Moors enslaved whites in Hispania, which was ancient Spain, even in Italy, Sicily, even in Western France. The Moors are all over there. Look at what the Mongols did. Go study the Mongols, and you come back and tell me. Study the Ottomans and a lot of those Islamic kingdoms in the Middle East over the years and the things that went on. Okay? And you can also look at what's going on right now. Many African Americans have some sort of narrative like this where there's a relationship, voluntary or involuntary, between a slave owner and an enslaved African, says Dr. Monica A. Coleman, a professor of constructive theology and African American religions at the Claremont School of Theology. Whether that's through sexual violence, kind of consensual or involuntary power relations, to a loving relationship, just a legacy of slavery in all of its weight. Both parts where there's love, there's violence, there's enslavement, and there's cruelty. It's just very weighty, she said. A major reason why trauma is carried on for multiple generations is because many people are unable to properly heal from their suffering before they pass it through their DNA. Dr. Joy DeGruy, a prominent trauma expert and social researcher, told the news. The study, let's read through some of this. Beyonce told Vogue she's hopeful her newfound understanding of her family lineage can lead to positive changes for her family moving forward. So is she blaming that on why her and Jay-Z have had issues? Is she blaming that on why she's had relationship issues? Is she saying that's why black relationships don't work? Is because of enslavement? I'm trying to figure it out. So that is the reason why black relationships don't work, is because of slavery? Because there were a lot of cultures that dealt with slavery, especially a lot of European cultures. Go look up medieval Europe. And look at how they sold each other in slavery. And then you can come back and tell me that that slavery altered us and created us into subservient people. Because the only people I think are subservient is these people who talk about being pro-black, but they got a white spouse and they got biracial children. Those people, to me, who got their fist in the air, those are the people who are pushing a narrative that they don't live. And the thing about Beyonce is this. I mean, look at Beyonce. She's walking around this blonde hair, but she's ashamed of her white ancestry. She's ashamed of her white ancestry. You're ashamed of your white ancestry, but you walk around with this long flowing blonde hair. You're walking around with this long flowing blonde hair, and you want us to believe that you are ashamed. This idiot can't even spell cone. But anyway. Okay. Well, there you go. Shout out to Gourmet. There you go, sir. You can be all disgruntled by yourself. But I think this is just a cop-out. If you really felt like you hated your white ancestry, why are you trying to look it? Why has your skin gotten lighter? Why has your hair gotten longer and blonder? But, I mean, these people say things because they know that nobody's going to criticize them. And I have nothing against Beyonce. But you have to look yourself in the mirror, man. You got to look yourself in the mirror. And understand that you have to basically practice what you preach. You cannot say that you hate the fact that you have European DNA, but look at what you're trying to look like. Look at what your base is. You have a lot of white women who support Beyonce. You do. You have a lot of European women who support Beyonce. A lot of these white feminists on social media put her on a pedestal. This isn't me making things up. These are facts. You have a lot of black women who put her on a pedestal. They try to look like Beyonce. They try to get the long form blonde hair. They try to lighten their skin just to look like Beyonce. Yeah, I've heard she had a nose job too. Allegedly had a nose job, you know. And I think that when you look at society, there's a ton of women trying to look like Beyonce. But even Beyonce has a trouble with the way she looks. This is more from Beyonce. She said, "I now believe it's why God blessed me with my twins," the singer said of learning of her lineage. Male and female energy was able to coexist and grow in my blood for the first time. I pray that I am able to break the generational curses in my family and that my children will have less complicated lives. So you mean to tell me Beyonce with all the success that you've had, that there's a generational curse because your mother and father are no longer together? There's some type of curse. What about your sister? Isn't she still dating that same guy that she been dating for the longest? She's still with that guy? So I'm trying to figure out, what generational curse are you talking about, Beyonce? These are what we need to know. It would benefit us greatly to understand what angle you're coming from with this. But I know people are going to listen to this and they're going to make it seem like I'm upset or I'm hating or I don't like Beyonce. I think Beyonce is very talented. It doesn't mean that I can't look at what she's saying and call bullshit, you know. But that's enough talk from me. Y'all can call in. Let me put the number in the chat so y'all can call in. Hopefully we have some good calls. I will tell y'all this one time. This is my one warning. Respect the other callers, man. I know y'all have a lot to say, but, you know, respect the other callers. I don't want to have to boot you early, but I will. You're taking up time. Let's see. Okay, let's see. And also, make sure you continue to donate. You can call into the show. So make sure you call in. Number is 803-767-4101. Thanks, Gourmet. So make sure that y'all call in. Hold on, make sure the phone lines. Y'all probably calling now. Let me make sure that's ready to go. Hold on a second. All right, there we go. Now we're on. Okay, what's going on, Ghost? All right, Beauty. Yeah, that's a heck of a curse to have. All right, you're live.
Jay the Black.
Yo, what's going on?
You hear me
man?
okay?
Yo, what's
Hey,
going on?
it's empty wallet. How are you?
Yo, what's going on, Empty?
Not much, man. Another killer stream today. I just wish I could come in live more. You're on daytime, nighttime. You're a hard guy to pin down.
I'm trying to figure out when is the best time. You know, it's just being experimental with it. You know.
I'm just not. I'm an older guy, so I'm not as technically. You know, I actually figured out how to donate with the phone one time. I was all proud of myself. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
called this time, man.
Yeah. I'll let somebody else go. I just want to call in and shout out that I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the streams here, man.
All right, Empty. I appreciate you calling, man. And support
All right.
the stream.
Catch you later.
All right.
All right, man.
All right,
My pleasure.
All right. Shout out to Empty Wallet calling in. First time calling in. We got some first time callers calling in. But if you the person that call back in. I don't like people calling all over each other. Call-in number is 803-767-4101. Y'all can just call in and say hey or shout out the chat if that's what y'all want to do. A good point, Kira. She is pro-black when it's convenient. Very convenient. You know? Very convenient. You know what I'm saying? And she's only a feminist when she knows she can sell tickets and sell records, that's when she's a feminist. But I think deep down, she's not a feminist. She came from a 2-parent home. You know what I'm saying? Father worked hard. Yeah, you live?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm going to get to the point. I wanted to talk about the stuff you were talking about, the news clip for Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, I live 30 minutes outside of Chicago, and I really want people to listen to this because the news is going to tell you one thing. But if you know people who live in the hood, it's a different story. So let me get to the first topic really quick. You talked about black men hating on each other. Dude, I get it all. Nobody. We can barely even speak to each other, talk to each other. None of that. You understand me? But then as soon as a white cop together, I hate hypocrites. So I just want to keep that real. Black men, we're not in competition with each other and should never be. Number two, with all these police killing, not more so the police killing, but you was talking about how is nobody getting caught. Great point, and I'm glad you brought it out. Listen to this. This is the age of surveillance. How are we not seeing anything? Most recently, we had about 3 girls come up missing. And I found it kind of ironic that these girls that was missing, they ordered. Do some more research on that because black killer on the loose, but it's one thing if people are killing these people for.
Okay. Hey, hold on, bro. Hey, would y'all quit fucking calling while he's live, man? All right, go ahead, bro.
Okay. So then when I did some research, I started to find out that we recently had a bust not too far from Chicago in a warehouse. And Jay, guess what they found in this warehouse? They found over 500 bodies on ice. So which that leads me to think the black market that's selling these people's organs here in Chicago. That's why a lot of these murders are going soft. Then I say to myself, well, we already know ain't no black owners of these warehouses out here. It's all white corporations. So I hate to say it, but sometimes the police are actually working with these people. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you're in the downtown Chicago area, I kid you not, I was down there on the date around the 4th of July. On every major city block downtown where the tourists are, dude, I saw 5 officers on each block. So then I thought to myself, and I was telling my date, I said, these niggas don't need to be down here. They need to be on the west side and the east side of Chicago where all this stuff is happening. I also speak from experience. I gotta give it to the cops on this. They busy, but they busy doing the wrong thing. Right? And the detectives, they've been busy, haven't found any leads, just spinning the family. But I tell myself, how can y'all not find these guys? Number two, they talk about the gun control. Well, the thing with the gun control, I talked to some thugs. Check this out. I don't want to give too much information. I used to work in the prison. And when I tell you I walked around and talked to goddamn chicken, real talk. But anyway, they were telling me there were times where they found informants in the gang, and actually the cops were supplying these niggas with guns because the guns were left in alleys. Then I added it up to myself. I said, you know what? It's not one gun shop in Chicago. They got to be getting it from somewhere. You know, so I just wanted to give people a realization of what's going on. It's a little bit deeper than what they go put on the news because they don't want people to be informed the right way. Because you think about, you all also made a mention, and I'll let you go, about how the neighborhoods need to take accountability. They do. I remember growing up in the 80s on the east side of Chicago, we used to have block parties. Block parties, we would block off the street, everybody would bring food in. Well, after years, they tear that family system and that accountability up because it's all part of the propaganda rule. And a lot of people don't understand, why would we want to have, number one, black men with decent jobs when we want to do what? Incarcerate them, because it's a business to incarcerate those men. I've seen higher ups in the correctional facility lie on inmates just to give them more time, man. So this stuff is accountability is everything, but it's also a system that's literally pulling black men down. And as you notice, it's all about the black man. It's not really about the woman, but it's something so special about that black man, what they keep trying to bring him down in every way possible. But I'm going to be respectful to your phone, but that's all I got to say for right now, but I appreciate it.
All right, man. Shout out to you for calling in, all right? I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
All right, bro. He's come with his perspective from Chicago. Shout out to him. Let me tell y'all something, man. Whoever this 301 area code is, bro, unless you are not watching the show or whoever you are, respect the callers or you getting blocked, sir. All right, if you want to call in, go ahead and call in. What you need to do is when you're calling in, listen to the stream. And if you hear somebody else on, just don't call up. All right, you're live.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Guillermo, man.
What's going on, man?
Yo, we spoke about that Shannon Sharpe shit, man. That shit made my blood boil, man. Yo, I don't know. I don't know if you guys all beef with each other in terms of YouTube guys or whatever, but Chronicles of Judah 144, right? Mm-hmm. He had a good video that was speaking about the civil rights and how all the civil rights leaders that you saw, most of them, or the majority of them, were funded by these white, Jewish, liberal, socialists and shit.
Yeah.
So what I was going to tie that into is that if you look around, look at the people that they demonize on TV when it comes to black men, right? Yeah. You got LeVar Ball, they demonize Michael Jordan, and even if you watch, I don't know if you guys watch like Fox Sports, I watch a lot of sports and shit. Yeah. This dude, Jason Whitlock, right? Because Jason Whitlock came out and said that black people need to stop marching and build for self. Like, instead of going out and marching because it does nothing, you should go out and build for self. And then look what they raise up. The Michael Eric Dysons, these poverty preachers. Whenever somebody comes out, like, if someone can sit here and tell me, when was the last time that marching actually did anything good for black people? And better yet, if any of you guys in the chat room ever marched for any of these white Jewish people, blah, blah, right? Go and ask them. You go to these marches and shit, right? Go and look up the issues that them in their neighborhoods and communities and ask them, do you march for this shit or do you work behind the scenes? Use your wealth, use your power to gain leverage to make changes in the law. Because what they want to do, this is the thing with black people, when this is our downfall, we're the most, I would say, arguably the most, talking about worldwide, one of the most culturally, most talent-wise, we're the most gifted. I don't give a fuck what no one says. We can fucking make music art. We can make music picking out boogers and shit's gonna become the next hit. The thing with black people is that we're too fucking emotional. When we see somebody say so helping us or whatever, we have the time to scream out and say something's happening, really blah, blah, blah. We take that opportunity versus work behind the scenes, using leverage, using power.
Hey, they say, Guillermo, they're saying there's an echo. They're saying there's an echo on your end.
There's an echo. Hold on. Give me
and they want you to turn your whatever you're using down. Your phone down.
I'm sorry. Do y'all hear it anymore?
Do y'all hear the echo now? They say take yourself off speaker.
Take it. It's off speaker.
Okay. He said it's not on speaker, so it says echoing. It's still echoing?
Still echoing.
Who's echoing, me or him? Hello, everybody in the chat room.
Anybody still hear echo?
Well, who's in? Y'all keep saying echo. Who's echoing?
I don't think it's me because I don't even have
a computer echo. They say you were echoing.
I'm echoing? Oh, shit. All right. Well, I'll be quick. All right. Yeah, man. I'll just say that everybody, look at the people who are backing all these little movements, man. And look at all the people that they demonize. If you talk about wealth, you talk about building for black men, is what black men used to look. Fucking get your jobs up. I don't give a fuck. If you're in the NFL, don't fucking kneel. Make your money. If you want your own league, build your own league. Become an owner. Build wealth. They will never tell you or push you to do that shit. That's why they got these idiots like Shannon Sharpe. They got these idiots on sports. And this is what they do with black people. That's disgusting. They tell you to look up to celebrities and athletes as your figures. Why the fuck would I look at somebody who is gifted by God to do a sport that they're 90% naturally inclined to do? Versus, why don't they tell me, hey, look, why don't you look at the scientists? Why don't you look at the Neil deGrasse Tyson? Why don't you look at the motherfuckers using their intellect, using hard work, and not necessarily physical skills that they're blessed with to build what they have, to build a wealth? Even when you look at a guy like Michael Jordan, why don't they look at the fact that Michael Jordan, everyone's talking about LeBron James in school and shit. Like I said before, Michael Jordan told Charles Barkley, yo, don't get fucking paid in cash or whatever, right? Get paid in fucking stock, so you own a portion of that company, so you're getting directly the residuals you're supposed to get from the work that you put in with that company. But no one wants to talk about that shit. Everybody wants to talk about who's hollering, who's doing this. I don't give a fuck. Who gives two fucks about fucking marketing? What the fuck has marketing ever done for us, man?
Hey, bro, Gilmore, you got to call back in, man. The chat's saying that your sound is crazy, so you got to call back in. All right, bro. All right. Okay, bro. Okay, so I guess he's gonna have to call back in. I don't know, what is it, the afternoon? Y'all are hyped up. As far as these phone calls coming in when people are talking. But call back in, 803-767-4101. Okay? And also, for all the distress, y'all need to be donating live. Come on, man. Y'all know how to conduct yourself in my streams, man. When one person is talking, maybe one person will call in, but the call back in over and over and over. The same number is calling in over and over and over and over and over. Come on, man. Make sure that y'all like the stream, man. Yeah, donate to the stress. Let's go. Shout out to the people subscribing. You can still call back in, 803-767-4101 if you want to say something. I think this has been a good show so far. Let me know about the Chicago shooting, Shannon Sharpe. Versus Michael Jordan, Beyonce not liking her heritage or ancestry. Let me know. Nah, they'll call back in. All right, we got another caller. All right, you're live.
Hi, Jaye. It is Gourmet Thursday.
What's going on, Gourmet?
Not much. Brilliant stream so far today.
Thank you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know. Y'all can tell me in the chat whether she's echoing or not. But you sound good to me. Okay, I'm about to.
Wow, you brought up some really deep topics, and what concerns me when I look at some of the people in the chat room and what they say when you're talking, and other videos I've listened to from other YouTubers. There's a lot of, and you touched on this, and I really love that you touch on it. But you bring up. People bring up that white supremacy is at fault. Black people are getting killed in Chicago. Somehow it's white people who did it. And I think that the black community, and again, you say this, but the black community does need to take accountability and look at the people who are committing those crimes and focus in on that. You can't just continually use that excuse that the slave master caused this whole problem. Yeah, maybe that happened. You can trace everything back to that. But at the end of the day, we need to start taking accountability. Otherwise, we will forever be in this victim mentality. And every time I hear this, rhetoric, I think about Kanye West, and I think about when he said slavery is a choice. And when he first said it, yeah, he sounded like a big goofball. But the deeper it goes, when we continually hear people, you know, not look at themselves, not look at their community, and just, you know, think, well, this is how it's going to be because the white man did it, so therefore this is how it is. And it's always going to be the white man's fault, and it's not. And this is where I think Kanye West has a point that gets lost, because it is that mentality, and we chain ourselves to that victim status. And then we become, you know, who's our slave master then? Ourselves. Our own brains, our minds are the slaves now. So that needs to stop. You know, another thing, I went on to a stream, you know, this one Black YouTuber stream. They were talking about, you know, Black businesses and supporting Black businesses, and you got to support your own. And yes, I agree. And, you know, I mean, I've signed up for websites to learn more about where the Black businesses are in my community so that I could support them. But then he said, don't sell to outsiders. Don't sell to people that are not Black. Well, wait a second. If Black people, and I don't know this for sure, but I hear this a lot, right? If Black people are 12 or 13% of America, well, how are you gonna get generational wealth if you only sell to the 12% of the Black community, when it's really less than that, because you've got a percentage of Black people who aren't going to stand the fuckery, right? So they're going to expand, and they might not support a Black business. So you're really looking at less than 12% of the world, right? Of whatever, and you don't want to sell to them. And then you hear people say, well, they're going to immigrants are laughing at us or whatever. You know, I don't see that, but if, you know, Chinese people or Indian people are coming into America and they're owning their own businesses, they're not saying, I want to sell to just Indian people and I want to just sell to Chinese people. They're saying, I'm going to take my business and sell to everybody because I want that money to come in. And so I think that Black people, and I know you want to get in here, but I think that Black people need to open up their borders and, you know, there's forgiveness that needs to happen here so that they can allow themselves to free themselves from the chains that bind them, right? So that they can open up their businesses to greater, you know, the greater community and get that money coming in. So anyway, I think it's been a great stream. I know this is very controversial. I know it's even more, you know, difficult for somebody like me, a non-Black, to say something like this. But again, with you, I feel like I can be myself and I can be honest about what it is I see. And I do want the Black community to get better. I mean, this is where I focus my energies on where I want to help. So anyway, that's all I had to say.
Okay, well, thank you for calling me. I like what you're saying. You know, there's nothing wrong with non-Blacks being a part of my platform. I've always had white people or non-Blacks a part of my platform, you know, since the start. So
yeah. And that's what I love about you, that you're welcoming, because some Black YouTube channels are not welcoming and they are hostile. And I have been kicked out for, like, that one where I said, well, why don't you open up the business? They kicked me out and then trashed me in the comments section.
That's what they'll do.
You know, so
it's about moral victories. You know what I'm saying? It's about moral victories.
And only because I said, why don't you consider expanding your business? And that was hurtful to them. You know, it's a sensitivity. And, you know, I mean, even me, right? You know, I'm a female, I'm Hispanic, you know, sometimes in the workplace, you know, I feel, you know, like, you know, I can't move up the ladder because of my own limitations, but that's my own mindset, you know? So, you know, it happens. We have to, like, break the chains that kind of tie us down, you know? So anyway, that's, I had to say something. So I'm glad you brought up these topics, and, you know, I hope there is healing, you know, and I think that everybody that listens to you are people that think for themselves, especially the ones who aren't like trolling you and trying to get you to be somebody that you're not, or trying to get you to live in the 1800s or something like that, All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
All right. Thank you for calling now.
Bye.
Right. Bye. Hey, big nephew, who's whack? Why are you calling people names, sir? I'm gonna have to figure. Okay. That's gonna be it for the calls. I gotta figure out this audio shit. So that's it for the calls. I gotta figure out the call, how this shit works. Let's see. Incoming call. Step back on. But yeah, that's it for the calls. Nobody called back in. Yeah, chill, big nephew, before you get blocked, because you don't be calling. I told you, don't disrespect the callers. Okay, I don't care whose platform you're on. You don't come here, anybody. Don't come here and just say whatever and think that you're not gonna get addressed. Okay. I'm already having issues with the audio. Don't make more issues. And it's only what, 1:30 in the afternoon. Genius, you can get another chat room to be in. How about that? Because my audio was working fine until I got the Skype started. So some of y'all need to slow your roll. I've been doing this longer than y'all have. Okay, if you want to, let me tell you something. What you can do, what's your name? Genius Level, you can donate a headset, okay, do into existence. You can speak it into existence, or you can do into existence. But yeah, don't disrespect the callers. Y'all already know my policy. I don't care how pro-black you are, you can take that shit somewhere else, okay? We pro-logic over here, okay? Okay, I'm in my feelings. Okay, well, you can go and have a nice day then. I told y'all, I run shit here. I run shit here. Not you. Okay? You can donate a headset, or you can shut the fuck up. Donate a headset, and then you can shut the fuck up. Or shut the fuck up. Oh, that's cool, big nephew. That's cool. I'm just letting you know, that's a policy that's been in place for a while. So. But shout out to everybody that's here. The thing is, I got like a trillion headsets around here. One is I got a PS4 headset, and another one that's old. I haven't used. It's been a while. I think I used it. I don't know if it works that good. But if I need a headset, I definitely will let y'all know, especially you, Guillermo. But yeah, man, I have to continue to lay the law down. I'm very controlling. I'm very controlling. But still, shout out to everybody, Oh, he's hurt. Whoever this guy is, Mr. Powerline, you are hurt. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you, Tamika. Yeah, they do care. And the thing is, like, instead of just telling me what I need, you can donate it. Y'all, I went and bought all types of equipment last week with the money that was being donated to me. Or it did, it will? Okay, cool. I hope it wasn't like that the whole stream. Since they will give you on Southwest. No, I don't have any headsets on. I'm using a microphone. This is actually a new mic. My regular mic, I'm not using on this computer. I'm using a brand new microphone. I just got this microphone. I just got it. So, it's saying I'm echoing. Hold on. I'm about to check. I'm about to do a check myself to see if it's echoing. So let me see. Because I know some of y'all get hurt. You don't like what I'm saying, so you'll just say anything in the chat room. So let's see. I'm a Pisces, odd beauty. It's saying I'm echoing. Hold on. I'm about to check. I'm about to do a check myself to see if it's echoing. Well, somebody's about to get blocked because I don't hear no echo. I know some of y'all get hurt. Somebody's about to get blocked. So you'll just say anything in the chat room. I don't hear no echo. Do y'all hear echo? I'm a Pisces, odd beauty. You may hear an echo in the background because I'm in a room by myself. There's not a lot of not a lot of people. I'm the only person in my living room. I have a very long living room. My living room is extremely long. So that's probably what you hear. But as far as, and I just listen, there's no real echo. Let me say, who said that? Okay. Let's see. Well, there's no caller on the line. I'm speaking myself. Wi-Fi man, whatever. So shout out to everybody that's here. Listen, I've already talked about the Chicago shootings. I've already talked about Shannon Sharpe. I've already talked about Beyonce. If you got here late, oh well. You're going to have to listen to this when it's posted because you should have been here early. You should have been here early, but you wasn't. You know? But yeah, I'm a Pisces. You know, we're more laid back, but in these streams, I try to let loose, you know what I'm saying? Because when you do 2-hour-long streams, man, you got to be loose or you'll go crazy. You will go crazy, you know? Now, speak about Alex Jones. I was thinking about making a video. I was thinking about making a video about that, maybe put it on the website. Our beauty, you're a Pisces too? Of course, we are the best. We're the most intelligent sign out there. Yeah, Sadia, that's why I put a message on Twitter letting people know I'm live. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they get those notifications. Yeah. But yeah, man, I was thinking about making a video, but I'll say this about Alex Jones. If he can get banned, a lot of us can get banned. See, I know the pain of losing a channel. Some people don't. That's why they act like they don't. They'll celebrate other people getting their channels taken down. But it is very painfully stressful when you get a channel taken away. So when you get banned, it's not a good feeling. And to see him and this platform get banned, I think it was that channel and a couple of other channels I think got banned. That's troubling. It really is. I think Willie D just running his mouth. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Kiera says she's a Sagittarius. I get along with Sagittarius. Liar Cohen. No, I haven't spoken about. Liar Cohen was being honest. I mean, he wasn't lying. Liar Cohen is like, listen, I'm in here to make money. Y'all, you gonna get with the team or you gonna get lost, or or you can get gone. You can tell you are a fish swimming up. Oh, Scorpio rose with Pisces. Oh, okay. Oh, word. Yeah, we cool with Scorpio, Sagittarius, Cancer. I think we don't mix with Gemini. I've been around Gemini women, man. We're like oil and water, man. Let's take Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't know. Jesse Lee Peterson seems kind of safe. The dude he does a interview show and he does his regular show, and Jesse Lee just says whatever. And it's not a huge campaign to get rid of Jesse Lee. Have y'all noticed that? Like Jesse Lee, like people just letting it go. Taylor Nicole says she's a Cancer. Okay. Yeah, Alex Jones pissed off a lot of these liberals, man. And the thing is that the people running these platforms they're trying to kiss up to the establishment. You know, like these people on Twitter who complain all day and troll all day. You know. And what's going to happen when you continuously do that? You're going to lose ground. You're going to lose everything you've built. Aries are cool. Aries is like, I'm right close to Aries. I'm right at the spectrum because I'm late in the month of March. I'm late in the month. So you got Aries and you got Pisces. They're very close to each other. I heard Virgo women are freaky. Is that true? They gave Willie D his channel back too. But banning whole platforms is not a good look, man. Come on. Like, did it really have to get to that point? That's a good point, Lynette. He did keep Hillary from, help keep Hillary from getting into office. That's why she kept mentioning him by name, because she blames him, and he's been a target ever since. Because people tried to make it seem like he was crazy, he's a conspiracy theorist, but why are you banning the guy? And you're banning the guy, and he's already on all these different platforms, spreading his content even more. Spreading the content even more. Bro, you right about them Gemini women. My ex was the one she texted me. Yeah, man, Geminis are very bipolar, man. They 1 minute they cool, next minute they want to fight, They shut him down for hate speech, man. They shut Alex Jones down for hate speech. And this dude got like 20 more YouTube affiliates. 20 other people who work for him, they have their own channels that are still on YouTube. So you gonna take them off too? They made a lot of money off Alex Jones. He was getting a lot of views, man. He was outdoing the young turds. He was outdoing them and some of these other, lamestream establishment puppets. But again, what do I know about politics? That'd be interesting, Butte. I'm always interested in finding out new things and certain things. But people have said that Alex Jones don't call out Jews. I'm like, but he's done enough to get banned. He didn't have to call out Jews and they banned him. So what does that tell you? What's going on, Jamila? Sliding in late. Jamila, we're going to have a conversation about you coming in late. Yeah, but the DNC is hurt for leadership. They got that crazy woman out of New York elected to what, the Senate? No, to Congress. That crazy 28, 29-year-old chick. she's like a socialist. Like, is that what it's come to? But yeah, but I will say this though, there really isn't a difference anymore. Both of the parties, some of these guys are basically have the same interests. They have a lot of the same people who they are basically working with. Go Eagle, what's been going on? I ain't seen you in a minute. Yeah, this is close to being the after stream right here. This is when I speak to the audience that is here. Now I want y'all to understand this though. I know there are times when I do my live streams and I go off on people and I say certain things. I want y'all to understand none of that is personal, okay? I don't hate any of you. I love and appreciate all of you. But I just want y'all to understand that there's a time and a place for everything, okay? And when this ain't the right time and this ain't the right place, I really don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. But like I said, man, I appreciate everybody who came through, man. Y'all make these streams fun, man. Like, really do. I try to get the people what they want, you know, as far as topics is concerned. I can't speak on everything, but I try to speak on what people want to see the most, you know. Letty, what's going on? Long time seen you in the chat. Chizat. But you did call in, not that long. Lady, didn't you call in, last week? So Lady did call in last week, okay. But I ain't seen you like yesterday. So yesterday means a long time. Yesterday means a long time, I guess, you know, for me. No, I'm just stating something I want people to understand about me, because people understand I'm the type of person I can be a bit abrasive, but that's just me. And this is for a lot of new people. You know, I have policies, you know, don't disrespect the callers, you know. Don't troll me while I'm streaming, because you will get that heat. They do have to have tough skin, and I may clown you here and there, but that's just my personality. And some people don't get it. They take it as, you know, me being, you know, hating them for whatever reason. I don't know any of you. Why would I hate you? You know. It was a couple weeks ago. Okay. Sunday show was hilarious. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, that donated. I appreciate that. Y'all know I do. I'm the most appreciative black man on YouTube, of course. The most appreciative black man on YouTube. Okay. Subscribe to JDBMediaENT. I'm gonna start putting videos back over there soon. Capricorn women are cool. I get along with them too. It's just Gemini women I can't function with. They just happen to be crazy. Oh, I was thinking about making a video on that. To my Travis Benjamin and Newton. See, the Carolina Panthers is my favorite NFL team for obvious reasons. But I think Benjamin, I think he's frustrated because he realizes that he's with the Buffalo Bills and he's going to be playing with a rookie quarterback that is not going to do well. Am I really what, Letty? And I think that no, I don't get along with Gemini women because they're bipolar. I appreciate that RM77. But yeah, man, Travis Benjamin, he seemed like a guy who realizes that he's going to be with a team that sucks. He's going to be in the Northeast. He's not going to be in Charlotte anymore in the Southeast. He's not going to be with teammates he likes. I think he's still a bit salty about leaving, but I appreciate honesty. You know, when people can speak their minds, I appreciate that. Tell Cam Newton how you really feel, you know. Tell Cam Newton how you really feel. I think Cam Newton handled it like a pro. But I think that, you know, Benjamin got lazy. You know, after his knee injury, he got lazy. You know, he showed up to camp overweight, out of shape, And Cam Newton tried his best to get him the ball and it didn't work out because, you know, Travis Benjamin is not Travis Benjamin, but I'm calling him Travis Benjamin. But, you know, he's very good catching the ball, but he's not a very good route runner, you know. He's not a good route runner. Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin is not a very good route runner. He struggles with that. And he doesn't have top end speed. That definitely hurts him. When you can't run routes correctly and you don't have the speed to make up for that, you know, you're gonna struggle. And he struggled with the Panthers, and that's why they traded him. I was surprised they traded him in the middle of the season, but they felt like they had to get rid of him. They felt like he was gonna be a distraction in the locker room. They didn't like his attitude. You know, he's with a no-nonsense coach. You know, Ron Rivera is a no-nonsense coach. You know, very no-nonsense. It might be true, Michael, about the gentle breeze and the hurricane. Yeah, I was thinking of Travis Benjamin. I should have said Kelvin Benjamin. But, you know, Travis Benjamin's a hell of a player, too. Fast as fuck. Oh, okay, Beauty. So you've dealt with that. Yeah, I think his father was in the Army, and he was like a bit of an Army brat. He played for the Chicago Bears, you know? Yeah, but Ron's not gonna play that, man. Ron gonna get rid of you before he keep you. You know? And think about Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera is probably the best defensive coach in the NFL nobody talks about. This guy's had 2 defensive coordinators become head coaches. 2. One was just there 1 year, and he got a head coaching job. That's how prepared they are on defense. And he's the big reason for that, you know. My dude, I'm sorry, but you can't be promoting your Instagram and you ain't even say hey to the God, man. Come on, man. I'm sorry, man. Y'all got to stop doing that, man. Come on, man. Seriously. So hopefully everybody has a good rest of your Tuesday afternoon. This has been a good stream. It's been entertaining. It's been frustrating because of the echoing that y'all said was going on. But I'm going to fix that, and I'm going to get things rolling in the right direction. Like I always do, you know. Oh, you say you bet the best defense. I think the best defensive coordinator is Wade Phillips. Yeah. Wade Phillips is probably the best. Him and who else is good? I think he's the only coordinator. You got a couple good head coaches that are good on defense. I think Rex Ryan needs to be a defensive coordinator, but he can't. He don't want to work for nobody, you know. But I doubt he's gonna get another head coaching job anytime soon. I'm pretty sure that ill will. What's up, Ricky? Sliding in, Ricky. Gus, what's going on? So make sure y'all keep up with me. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You go check out my site. Also, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that donated. Do appreciate that. Hold on a second. Want to donate to the stream? Yeah, I saw Rex Ryan at the Hall of Fame. I said to myself, you should be coaching defense, bro. You shouldn't be sitting on the sidelines, man. Come on. Yeah, Dick LeBeau is good, but he got let go, so I don't. But he's always been consistent. Yeah, Rex is not a head coach. He's I think he'd make an excellent assistant head coach, but not a head coach. Yeah, he did teach Ron. And Ron took the ball and ran with it. Ron Rivera can coach a 3-4 and a 4-3. Most of these coaches only coach one particular formation. He's coached both. Because he was coaching a 3-4 with San Diego when they were excellent on defense. Then he went to coach a 4-3 when he was with Chicago. Yeah, Dick LeBeau's in his like mid to late 70s now, but the guy really has no gray hairs. He's on the sidelines coaching. You know, the guy has the energy for the game. You don't see that a lot. I'll tell you what though. One person I'm interested to see is John Gruden. John Gruden is somebody I'm going to be looking at closely because he let go of some guys. He's trying to get rid of. He already got rid of Marquise King. But he's trying to get. But from what I understand, there are rumors that he's trying to trade Khalil Mack. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But I guess you don't want to pay him big money. Khalil Mack is one of the best defensive players. Did he have the strongest season last season? Probably not, but he's still one of the best, and you're trying to trade him. Good luck with that, John. Good luck with that team, John, because I know you hate defense, because John Gruden does hate defense. He will trade away his entire defense in order to have a good offense. That's John Gruden. That's John Gruden. John Gruden would trade away his best defensive players in order to have a good offense, because that's how great he is of a play caller. And he won't trade for a good quarterback. He'll trade for an over-the-hill wide receiver or running back. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see how that works. They're going to be in Las Vegas in the next couple of years. Those fans don't like the fact that the Raiders are moving. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is what's his name? Is can't think of the running back name. God damn it. Is Marshawn Lynch coming back? Let me see if Marshawn Lynch on the roster. Yep, Marshawn Lynch still on the roster. So you get rid of Marquette King, but you keep Marshawn Lynch, who was hurt a lot and did not have the strongest season. Right. That makes a lot of sense. You trade one of the best. Now, I can see why they probably got rid of him, because the guy's confrontational. He doesn't like being where he's at. He's not adaptable. But, I mean, you know. Who wouldn't want to have Khalil Mack on their team? Yeah, he does. He wants to get anybody who can have any type of leadership on his team off, so he can be the only guy who's leading them. And it's like, your personality is not going to be enough. That team is going to get worse, and y'all got to go to Vegas. Y'all spending all that money on that stadium, or the taxpayers are spending all that money on that stadium. And come on, man. Like, you wouldn't know it from the way John Gruden spoke about him on TV. But I guess when you get in that situation, things change, you know? Nah, do not trade Aaron Donald. The guy's the best defensive tackle in the NFL. He's Warren Sapp but quicker, you know. And he's strong as hell. He doesn't look very strong, but he's strong. Aaron Donald is a strong 6 foot, 285, 90 pound defensive lineman, man. The dude is quick and he's strong. Do not trade him. You're gonna have to pay that man. Don't trade him. That will be a huge mistake. But then again, I'm not in that, you know, I'm not those coaches and those in the GM, you know. They have to make that call. This dude came in training camp late and still had a great season. I know, Tamika, yeah, because, you know, they may not like the football talk. You know what I'm saying? Football. Yeah, man, you gotta get that guy paid, man. That dude is consistent. Came in the camp late and still had a good season, man. You can't teach that, man. The dude plays his heart out. I don't think if you pay him, he's gonna quit. I don't think he's gonna do that. He wants $20 million. Let's give him a 3-year, $60 million deal and just keep it going. But if you look at it though, a great defensive lineman is hard to come by. You don't see them anymore. You don't see great defensive players anymore. You see good defensive players, but you don't see great. You don't see greatness anymore, you know? It's hard to find consistently good players on defense. Yeah, I'll take Aaron Donald over Von Miller any day. I mean, what he does in the interior on that scheme, I think they run like a 3-4 type 4-3 scheme. Like he's just, you can utilize him in many different ways, and it works. Well, he's not going to get quarterback money. He is not. Aaron Donald not going to get quarterback money. They could give him a lot of guaranteed money, but he's not going to get quarterback money. I mean, nobody. I mean, but there's a team who could write a check. You know, there's always a team willing to write a check. So it's going to be up to them. But you know, all I got to say is you can't let him go to another team, man. He's just too dominant, and he plays way too hard. That's why that team got to the playoffs, because of him playing the way he did. Hold on a second. Yep, won their division. They beat the Seahawks into the ground last year. They're the reason why the Seahawks traded away or released a lot of those guys on the back end of their defense, because they couldn't cover the Rams receivers. They just couldn't. Who's your hometown team, Beauty? Who's your hometown team? I think Funch is going to have a Pro Bowl season. I'm just going to put it out there. Devin Funch is going to have a Pro Bowl season. Guillermo, that's your opinion. But I can tell you that they're going to win more games than any of those New York teams. because you got Eli Manning and some other guy with the Jets, and y'all gonna struggle this year. It's gonna be tough for y'all. Yeah, Todd Gurley too. The Rams have a complete team, offense, defense. It's gonna be tough for Seattle. It's gonna be tough for Arizona, and it's gonna be tough for San Francisco. They gonna stomp Seattle on the ground like they did last year. The Cardinals gonna get stomped into the ground. They got a new coach. 49ers are definitely gonna get stomped into the ground. You know, they beat Seattle into submission, man. I ain't never seen Seattle get manhandled by a team like they did with Seattle, man. And of course, as far as the Carolina Panthers go, I mean, you know, we could just have a season where we're bad, or we can go to the Super Bowl, you know. And that's my final word on it. All right, people, I've been here long enough. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next stream. This has been the after stream with Jaye the Black. All right. Later, and make sure that you continue to follow me on social media to keep up. You got to keep up with me so you know what's going on, so you're not getting lost in the shuffle, or you're not showing up late. Let's see. All right, people.